you got a busy schedule, you got a lot going on. But I've been kind of working on a story about just all the things you've been involved with in the community, because you've kind of been all over the place, kind of impacting different organizations, different people.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
yeah, and I had a chance to speak with Alan Smith, principal at your high school, and he said your name was like gold in the district, and that the youth there kind of desire that your name not be forgotten. And I was just curious, how those sentiments, and he was talking about your contribution to the Rock Stars youth program, but how those
Hmm.
sentiments, inspire and challenge you as a person.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a special feeling to be held in a high regard, especially where you come from. Um, and I didn't even come through the Rock Stars AU basketball team, but I've had friends, I've had uh, a lot of teammates over the years back home that have played AU basketball for the team, and nonetheless, it's being held in a high regard. I think it's a special feeling, and it comes with a lot of responsibility, and um, to be able to impact the people back home on the east side of Houston, the entire city of Houston, and the kids across the state of Texas and the world. Like it runs deep, because you never realize who's watching, but you always know someone is watching. And so for me, I just want to set the right example for the kid that does look up to me, the kid that does um, want to be something great and do something special with themselves. It may not even be the kid that looks up to me. They may look up to somebody else, but when they see the name Jalen Hurts, I want them to be able to say that's an example of how I can do it. Um, so I think it's a special feeling.
I have like an example of just that. So I had a chance to talk to one of the student volunteers from your Breed of One youth camp. He's a high school, I think he said middle linebacker. And he said that if he ever gets to your level, he told me he wanted to do things exactly the way that you do them.
Hmm.
What does that mean to you? Not, I think that probably goes beyond football for you.
Yeah, it's not even about football. It's not even about football, and when someone says something like that, because that's all the reassurance you need as a professional athlete, um, as a man trying to set the right example. My goal being impacting the youth, showing them a way to do things, and um, to hear a kid say that, I mean, um, that means more than anything anybody else can tell me. They want to do it exactly like he does it. And that's why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it for uh, anything, a pat on the back, uh, or nothing. I do it to set the right example for those to come. And I just try and do the right thing for them so they can have an example of that. Um, and that's it. So when the kid says that, that's a that's a
Yeah.
blissful feeling.
And I would imagine that you're also drawing inspiration, to be that role model. And everyone talks about you as a football player. Everyone's excited about that. But one of the things that I noticed earlier this year during one of your press conferences, you said one of your keys for growth was walking by the Spirit,
Right.
feeding people as a man of God. And so I'm curious, when faith became real to you, and how that kind of changes the way you carry yourself on and off the field.
Yeah, I think that's something that I've just matured in and realized that God is everything, and He's worthy of praise, and just you have to put Him in the center of everything that you do, and that's what I believe. Um, all my spiritual, all of my wisdom as a whole, all of my wisdom comes from Him in some way, shape, or form. Whether that be passed down from my father, um, my mother, my grandmother. Um, it comes from that, and I just think and all the things that we go through, all the things that we experience in life, good, bad, or indifferent, you have to keep them in the center, and it's just I've been blessed to grow, learn things, and just mature. And I know God has been been there the whole entire way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that as a quarterback with the spotlight always on you, especially in a city like Philadelphia, I mean, there have to be ways or steps that you take practically to remain spiritually grounded and civic minded, having so
Yeah.
much attention and fame. I mean, what are things that you do to stay grounded?
Well, I don't know. For whatever reason, you just made me think about it. A question someone asked me the other day. He asked me, you know, do you feel like, giving you context, it was about, being who I am, being an African American quarterback in the NFL, and uh, being in the city. Do I feel like I have to, uh, do I not open up, or do I have to be a certain way because I don't want to be wrong? And when he asked me that question, I'm like, this is who I am.
Mhm.
And God only made me one way. That's to be me. That's to be Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? And um, I think being in this city, being a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and just having the opportunity to play the game I love most, in the best city of football. It, I just go out there every day, and I am who I am, and I keep God in the center of everything. Um, I give him all the praise. I lean on him all the time, and I know that everything unfolds the way it's supposed to.
I think it's fascinating how there are different personalities that can still carry that same truth. I recently had a chance to talk to Jalen Ramsey, and he spoke about being a follower of Christ, and his personality is to shout it to everyone. Whereas you don't have to be, like, you can also be kind of that almost unspoken minister. And I'm curious for you. I know that winning is a priority. That's what your job is as the quarterback. But if you could be remembered for one thing, in your career, in your life, what would that be? I know that's a big question, but what would that
Yeah,
be?
yeah. Like I said, I think it. Um, I mean, I don't think you realize how huge that was for me to hear the kids say, "I want to do it exactly like he did it,"
Yeah.
because that's why I do it. I do it just to set the right example, and ultimately, you know, encourage the youth, encourage the people around me to seek out whatever path to greatness it is that's meant for them. Um, Give them some type of inspiration, some type of uplift. Encourage them to go do greater things and reach greater heights. And whether it's me going back to Chandler High School, watching them play ball, um, a kid in Philadelphia, um, looking at me and saying, I want to do it like him. Um, I just want to set the right example, and I want to be remembered for someone who made a difference. And that's an everyday thing. Um, it's something that I think about every day. Being a quarterback in the league, because you really have to, kind of remove yourself and invest into your team, out of yourself and into the team. Kind of put the team first. So I think that was cool. That I know you can't see me right now, but that put a smile on my
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. I was hoping to see you so I could I was looking to get like fashion tips from you too, like your hairstyle, the hoop earring. Like I listened to your smile to prepare for this. So
Yeah.
I was looking for all kinds of lifestyle tips. I'll just leave you
Yeah.
with a couple more questions. You talked about investing in people as a quarterback. Another way that people invest in people is being a pastor. Randall Cunningham became a pastor after playing. Nick
He did.
Foles once said that he plans on becoming a pastor. Is that anything you would ever consider? Because you've got, I feel like, the wisdom to do it.
I feel like wherever God leads me, that's that's where I go. Um, I go wherever He leads me. But now I always envision, like being a coach or something after football was over with, being in some type of role where I could have some type of management, um, whether it be a group, a front office of some sort, kids, working with kids, and just trying to lead them and guide them, and mentor them uh, on their journey of life. But I come from a tree of coaches. My brother's a high school football coach. My dad's a head coach. I'm in high school back in Texas, so I think that's naturally in me. Um, so hopefully, whatever I'm doing, I can be making a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Last question for you. I was raised as an Eagles fan, so I was like predisposed to root for you. But I don't know if anyone's ever just told you that you're a cool guy. But like the 1980s, 1990s throwback stuff, and like the hair. Like, are you planning on letting the hair grow out? What are the plans there? And
Man, I think I might. I think I might. So with the hair, I grew it out after the season, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna grow my hair out this off season just because. But I made a deal. I said I'm gonna cut it off before the first game. I'm gonna cut
oh
it off.
man,
So
wow.
so I was going back and forth, and I'm like, man, I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna keep it. And then like today, I literally might get a haircut tonight. I'm still debating. I don't know, but for me, I braids or fade or whatever it is. If I have a fresh do, I feel very good. I feel very good.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. Well, I appreciate just personally, I mean, full transparency. I mean, I appreciate you talking about your faith, but I more appreciate um, just your steadiness and you making your values cool to me, at least, and to a lot of kids and everyone that you touch. So, yeah, best wishes for this season and everything you're doing off the field. And I really do appreciate the time.
I appreciate you, man. We had to get you a left hoop, a gold hoop.
I'll tell you what, if you could see me right now, I've got a little stud in there. And who knows, that might have been like subconsciously influenced by you. I don't know.